Practice Time, Game Time, written by Khatzumoto, posted in September of 2011. Broadly speaking, there are two modes in the sport that is language. 1. Practice time, and 2. Game time. I'm not pointing this out in order to create filler content here. I'm not doing this for my health. I'm making this distinction because far too many people get practice time and game time confused. They come to practice with the haughty, cagey, know-it-all, calculating self-assuredness that works best in the game, but then when it comes to game time, they've suddenly changed their legal surname to humble. These are the people who, during practice time, are too good to seek advice, to listen to it, to try out new ideas and techniques that might help their sorry behinds. Footnote 1. You know the kind. It's the militant know-it-alls with eloquent complaints like, MCDs are for silly billies. This is all too technical. I am not giving up my music for Japanese music. Sorry, buddy. Ben Folds 5 is part of who I am. No, kid. Ben Folds 5 is part of who Ben Folds 5 is. Were. At best, you're just one of their customers. It's their band. It's their music. They exist independently of you. You're the replaceable one. Why do I have to listen to stuff I don't understand? Why do I have to write kanji? End footnote. But when it comes to speaking to real Japanese people about real Japanese stuff where real time and real money are on the line, they clam up. They have a conveniently scheduled panic attack. They're far king helpless. They go fetal. Intense face gives way to puppy dog eyes. They run to mommy girlfriend. They're hiding behind their skirt. They want an interpreter. Their once wheelbarrow-sized unisex ovaries shrivel up. The time to be humble is during practice time. The time to carry your cojones in a wheelbarrow is during game time. Practice time is where you go to find your weaknesses. Game time is where you go to hide them, to work around them, to win, to score at all costs. Practice time and game time can be fluid. They aren't necessarily set in proverbial stone. Even a relationship with the same person can shift from practice to game and back depending on time, place, and occasion. Whenever the person you're with has both the time and the will to correct you, it's practice time. Whenever they lack either of these, it's game time. It's time to use what you know and what works to get the job done. It's time for surgical strike. Both practice time and game time require courage, but a different kind of courage. Practice time requires inner courage, the courage to eat humility and drink shame in public. Game time requires poker-faced outer courage, the courage to act as if the world belongs to you and you have the right to walk anywhere you want in it. Just to make things clear for you, let's compare and contrast. Footnote 2. Woohoo! Schoolese phrase, smiley face. End footnote. Some more practice time and game time distinctions in terms of direction, attitude, core concepts, and questions. Practice time equals learn. Whenever the person you're with has both the time and the will to correct you, it's practice time. Most input in all SRSing is practice time. Practice time core concepts: humble, experimental, choppy, open, variety, correction-seeking, adventure-seeking, finesse, depth, flair, breadth. Look bad. Fail. Fall on your face. Eat humble pie, drink shame shakes. Random play, messing up, messing around, testing the universe, deliberately mess up, deliberately make a fool of yourself. During practice time, you seek out your mistakes and weaknesses, you work on them, you are open to failure and confusion. Stretch yourself to suit parameters. Use what you don't know, try out the flying kick. Flying kicks and finesse, build a wide, deep, and varied vocab. Reflective, conscious, selectively suppress and interrupt automaticity and monitor performance. Skill-wise, get more, build more, learn more. Trying to learn to become a better person, babyface. What don't I know well? What doesn't work? What needs fixing? What can be improved? Game time equals get stuff done. Whenever the person you're with lacks either the time or the will to correct you, it's game time. Output and speaking is almost always game time. Game time core concepts: terse, aggressive, efficient, goal-oriented, score-seeking, fluid, clear, clarity, lucid, lucidity. Footnote 3. Redundant duplication. End footnote. Look good, do well, don't be clever for the sake of being clever. Surgical strike on goal. Forget your mistakes. Hide your weaknesses, work around your weaknesses. Play to your strengths. Circumlocute. Stretch parameters to suit you. Use what you know well. Short and sharp. Shin kicks. Use a narrow, clear, effective vocab well. Reflexive, unconscious. Exploit automaticity. Monitor only outcomes, opportunities. Skill-wise, use what you know. Use what you've got. Trying to get stuff done. Poker face. What do I know well? What works? What gets the job done? So, practice time and game time. Get them straight. Keep them straight. When you're trying to get stuff done, it's game time. Don't be clever for the sake of being clever. Don't try out that new word that you don't know quite yet. Work well within your repertoire. Go for the goal. Get the thing done. Get the package or email sent. Get the ticket bought. Win the negotiation. Settle the deal. Get on the right train. Practice joyfully, lavishly, with childlike abandon, so that you can rightfully hold your head up high and get things done like an adult during game time. Put your baby face on during practice, so you can wear a true poker face during the game. Earn the right to be serious by first being playful. Update from 2 days later. AJATT Neoglitch suggests better terminology. I prefer his word choice to mine. Executive summary. Practice time equals game time equals showtime. Quote, I personally don't like Katz's wording on this one. I would rather name practice time, or the training grounds, as game time, the time where you just goof around, enjoy yourself to the max, learn, and practice, like crazy, make mistakes, learn from them, and you just play mainly to have fun, whether you lose or not. And I would name Katz's game time, the boss battles, as showtime, the time where you actually show off what you've been learning and practicing, and stick strictly to the language moves that you need to win, instead of trying to be fancy. End quote and end article.